DoDonPachi.
Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play PS1 Games. I'm your host, Gaming Jay, and today we're hopping into DoDonPachi, a Japanese shoot 'em up that looks pretty interesting, actually. I just took a very brief look at this to make sure it booted up and everything is fine. I have the demo, by the way, so we'll be playing probably just a couple levels. I mean, we always just usually play a couple levels, but this, when I can actually get the demo, I feel like it locks us in for, in some ways, what the developer thinks is going to best sell the game, which is kind of interesting. Like, if I go and I play a game that isn't a demo, I have to decide, like, when have I played enough? But when I can actually get a real demo for a game, first of all, you don't see too many game demos these days, so it's sort of interesting to go back in time and play an actual demo for a game. But second of all, it is kind of cool just to sort of see, like, this is the gameplay the developer wanted to put forth to try to entice you to get the rest of the game. So, DoDonPachi here. I did not press go on the title screen, and so we're going to get to see a little bit of gameplay, a demonstration, if you will. Interestingly, I thought my controller was broken because I was pressing start and X and all the buttons. You have to press select in this game to, I guess, insert a quarter. So I think this is either a port of an arcade game or a very convincing facsimile, but it's almost certainly a port. I could look up all the details, but maybe we'll look that up at the end of the video. Sometimes it's fun to just go into these things blind, guys. It's my MO, I don't know. Some people hate it. It's kind of how I roll. So, anyway, the demo, I mean, it looks, like we've played shooters before. One thing I really sort of picked up on this game immediately is I do really like the graphics in this game. It almost reminds me of that game Zed, with the robots that we're fighting. It was sort of very, like, it's hard to exactly describe it, but it's almost like a claymation kind of pixel art. It's very, like, rich in its pixels, and I don't know, I just sort of like the style of that. I could never do that kind of art. My own foray into making metal mercs and having to try and make art for that game has showed me that I'm not absolutely awful, but I have clear limits, and I can sort of imitate but not create, if that makes sense. So I could never make the quality of art that you're seeing in this game. Like, even on this screen, like, this is beyond my pay grade. Anyway, so we have some different ships here we can select. We can select Red Guy, and he's got a couple of these fun blasty guns. Green Menace here. He's got a gun that kind of turns sideways. It's like a lazy eye. It drifts as he plays. And then you've got... I guess we selected Green Guy. Okay, this is all on a timer. I see a timer in the middle now. I've just noticed that we're on the clock. So I can go with laser or this thing. I'm going to go with this thing. I can barely read the stuff. It's like the text and stuff that's there. I can barely make it out. I don't know if this is by design or not. Again, this is a PlayStation 1 game. And oh my god, by the way, that spaceship just looks friggin' amazing. Can I just say that much? Okay, so I see. So if you tap it, you get a wide shot. But if you hold it, then you go into power mode. That's kind of cool, actually. I don't think I've seen a game that does, oh god, that before. I feel like these flying shooter games remind me a lot of Contra in the sort of, like, one-hit death thing. But as much as Contra was like dodging a hail of non-stop incoming bullets, I feel like shooters just have like 1,000 more on the screen, if that makes sense. Like, I'm just done in that scenario. I've talked about this in other channels, how it's like, I think for everyone there's some genres they like and some that maybe even they don't dislike, but they're just not very good at. And I know I have my own limits. I'm not great at fighting games. Can never get the combos right. I'm a button masher through and through. It's just who I am. I'm also not great at these shooters because I almost feel like I don't have enough eyeballs to look at everything that's happening on the screen. And I've just sort of always felt like, look at this. This is insane. Where do I go? I can't even look at what I'm shooting at right now because I just have to stare at where my guy is. Oh my god! Can't believe I survived that. We should try some of these other buttons. Okay, so there was a button there. I think that was circle. And that gave me, oh, look at this. Oh, I just changed ships. Okay, that's cool. Oh, that's dead already. Wow. Again, it's not like that didn't happen in Contra, but I don't know, maybe I'm just more practiced with Contra. I don't feel like there were as many bullets on the screen. So Contra is like one of my favorite NES games of all time. In fact, it might even be up there as one of my favorite video games. It's hard to say. I guess when I think of my favorite video games of all time, I tend to think of more complex games like StarCraft or, you know, like Halo or something like that. But I think digging deep, like some NES games would certainly end up on that list. I mean, River City Ransom was just... that game was awesome. But yeah, anyway, so many bullets on the screen. I never know what to make of it. And so, as cool, you know, like I've found like interesting shooters and stuff over the years, but it's like I've never found one that like I really like played a lot because I always just felt like it was just too much on the screen for me, and I just, you know, I guess I never felt good at these games, if that makes sense, you know, like no matter how much I tried at one of these games, I just felt like there's so much on the screen I can't even enjoy looking at the art of like what the bad guys even look like. Like half the screen right now is covered in bullets. And it's just how these genres go, you know, like it's just how they go. So if you do like these kinds of games, you know, I'm not telling you anything new right now because you're like, yeah, Jay, that's what I like about them. You know, another genre I've never been that great at is racing games, but the one big exception to that, let's see if I can switch. Oh, here we go. Yeah, there we go. We'll switch into the red guy. The one big exception to not being good at, oh, he's just got like a giant mega cannon. The one big exception to not being good at racing games is Burnout. Oh, and Whiplash, actually. Those, and you know what? I would say those both qualify as some of my favorite games of all time. Isn't that interesting? Generally not a racing guy, don't play very many racing games at all. You know, like as a genre, it's fine, but again, it just never clicked with me, except two of my favorite games of all time are racing games. Oh, this is a cool looking tank. Man, that's... The pixel art graphics in this game, I just want to give it like the chef's kiss. It's just like truly magnificent. Like these are some of the coolest looking graphics I've seen in a while in a game. And I'm a sucker, an absolute sucker for good pixel art. This is sort of like, oh, what's that? Metal Slug. Kind of like Metal Sluggish almost. Oh my god. Oh my god, I don't know how. Oh wait, the blue ones don't kill me. Okay. I think this is like that one game where there was like blue and white shields and you could swap between the two and you were immune to like white bullets if you had the white shields, but you died to black bullets. I think this is probably like that, and I just don't know how to switch my shields. I have infinite continues here though, so let's just see. How do I do this? Oh, there's like a bomb button. Okay, so that's something. Couldn't figure out how to switch my shields. Yeah, none of the buttons seem to do it. I'm not sure, but it might be that kind of scenario. I got a little distracted there, but yeah, legitimately Wipeout. Wipeout is also known as Fatal Racing. It's that old DOS game where it looks like NASCAR racing, except that every single racetrack has something that violates the laws of physics, like a loop-de-loop or a corkscrew or something. And so it kind of is like racing with your Hot Wheels toys. Oh, this is definitely like that other game where you can switch between energy modes. I'm immune to the red bullets. So that actually makes my life significantly easier. Look, these guys can't even hurt me, I don't think. God, I love these sprites though. Like the spaceships just look amazing. They just look marvelous. I can't get over it. I'm loving the art. Oh, look at this thing. Like this just looks cool. I don't even want to destroy it. Oh God, maybe I do. You must die. Oh, he turned into a million billion stars. Even, like, look at this, like, plasma gun that I'm firing or whatever, this giant flamethrower. Like, even the flames coming out of it look friggin' amazing. I truly wish I could make art a quarter, an inch as good as this. It is, you know, like, I'm having fun just looking at all the spaceships. I sound like an idiot, but I'm like, well, the game isn't quite my cup of tea, but man, look at these spaceships. Is anyone else seeing this? It looks amazing. This stuff is great. Keep me entertained all day. Anyway, Wipeout, yeah, sort of like if you were racing with your Hot Wheels, only in real life. So, yeah, one of my favorite games. And then Burnout is a classic series where it's like technically you're racing, but it has two things I really enjoy. Racing on streets, so it's like you're just racing through like civilian territories, like plowing over, you know, like barriers and jumping over sidewalks and all sorts of crazy stuff. And then it also has intentionally trying to sabotage and wipe out your opponents. I should say one other racing game I kind of enjoyed back in the day was Road Rage. That's the one where you're on a motorcycle and you have to like literally punch your opponents to death off of theirs. I always kind of like that. So I guess, you know, I'd say straight up racing is not my thing, but if you can try and murder your opponents, I'll give it a dabble. I'll give it a try. So, yeah, anyway. What are some genres, because again, everyone's got this, nobody likes absolutely everything. What are some genres that you personally are not a big fan of, but where there's like one standout example of a game where you're like, but I really like that one game, you know, like maybe you don't like fighting games, but Super Smash Brothers is like everything to you. Or you really don't like shooting games, but for some reason, I don't know, Halo 2 was just amazing to you. I don't know. Maybe you didn't like strategy games, but, you know, Warcraft 1 was just like the game for you. Who knows? I think generally, though, I do steer towards... I've always liked, like, strategy games like, you know, StarCraft, Warcraft, Dune 2, Command & Conquer, the classics. They got a little too advanced for me at one point, so I still gravitate towards those, like, classic ones, but I like those. And I liked... oh, God. Halo, obviously, that was, you know, I had an original Xbox back in the day, an Xbox 360, and Halo was my game. Quite enjoyed it. I feel like, interestingly enough, first-person shooters were a genre I wasn't crazy about in high school. Like, I had a lot of friends who really played Quake and stuff, and they loved it. And I played around with it. I thought it was pretty fun. I think the thing that didn't draw me in those early days is a lot of it was focused on competitive deathmatch. And I'd say that the way I like to play games is I like to play them solo, you know? Like, I'm not a hugely competitive guy. I don't want to compete with other people too much, and then I get frustrated when I do sometimes, so I prefer to just play games at my own pace, you know, at my own level of difficulty, hone the difficulty to whatever I'm feeling that afternoon. So in those early days, a lot of first-person shooters were focused on, you know, multiplayer, so I didn't really get into Quake and stuff. I'd always really liked Doom and Wolfenstein, those were awesome. And then I really liked Duke Nukem 3D, but I only ever well, actually, no, it's not true. I did play some multiplayer with a couple friends I had in school. We'd, like, do some modem games after school. You'd dial up with a modem, then do one-on-one. That was actually fun. I mean, like, okay, I don't hate all... I'm not like, I never want to play a deathmatch ever, and I never will. I'm not like that. I do have some fond memories of doing that kind of stuff, so... I'm just a bundle of contradictions. But anyway, where first-person shooters kind of, like, came back for me and, like, I think, not every first-person shooter, but there's a handful I could name off the top of my head that are among, like, some of the games I spent the most time playing in the last, like, decade. So it's like, I like the sort of single-player experiences. So games like Remnant, or Remnant 2, which I played over the summer, and I'm still playing. I just don't make videos about it anymore. But if you haven't heard of that game, Remnant 2, it's like one of the best games of the year according to Steam. Check it out. It is an amazing, amazing game. Very, very good game. And it's not a AAA. It's made by like a small studio. Support the little guy, guys. But Remnant 2, Remnant 1, I really enjoyed The Division, which is more of a AAA. It is more like you're paying EA or whoever, you know, Ubisoft. You're paying the big corporate, you know, pit bulls, but it was like an addictive, fun game, and it was really cool. You like run around New York City during like a pandemic, and all of society is collapsed, and you have to like kill everyone. And then Destiny I played a lot of when the first Destiny came out, and it became an addiction, and then once I got out of that, I never went back, so I'm not getting into Destiny 2. And then games like Halo and stuff. So it's like games that had first-person shooters that had cool stories or like co-op gameplay or big worlds to explore. That's what pulled me in. So I wasn't as much into Quake and stuff in the early days. I played my Duke 3D, really loved it, played Doom. And then I sort of waned a bit, but now I've really come back to first-person shooters. They're up there, but yeah, tactical strategy games, those are like what I grew up on. Civilization 2. By the time they got to Civ 3, it was getting too complex for me. You know, I'm a simple guy. Oh, and the Battletech by the Harebrained Studios guys. That game truly is one of the... Oh my god, I've told the story before, but when that game launched, I was an early Kickstarter backer for it. When it launched, I think I stayed up for 36 hours straight playing it. And somebody asked me, like, was that... How, like, did you enjoy that? And I'm like, man, it was the funnest 36 hours I can remember in, like, 20 years. Like, I felt like a kid again, and it was just so fun. So it's like, that was truly one of the best games. Anyway, I died in this game. I'm not even talking about it. Sorry. DoDonPachi, you know, I had some mixed ideas about this one going into it. Because I was like, I'm not too big on the shooters. I hope it's okay. I think the gameplay was solid. I mean, it's hard truly for me to judge. It's like asking someone who eats at McDonald's to judge like a fine wine competition. So I'm just going to say, from my very naive perspective, it actually seemed like playable and fun and interesting. I love that title screen. That's great. But truly, I feel like the Atlas polish on this, it wasn't 10 out of 10, it wasn't 11 out of 10, it was 12 out of 10. It was 20 out of 10. It was, every single screen was so rich in detailed, awesome looking pixel art style graphics, the user interfaces, the UI, the character selection screens, all the little subtle details in this. Everything is shiny and animated and interesting. It truly is a feast for the eyes. So I think if you were going to play any shooter, if you're even only so-so into them and you want something that looks amazing, that's just going to be a treat to look at, I personally would pick this. Now, this might not be everybody's selection, but I personally would pick this. That's my thoughts on it after playing it for about 18 minutes. You know, I should just see if there's like one more level here. Let's see. Game select. Okay, there's nothing there. And then game start. I did like the red ship. Oh yeah, that laser thing, man. That's where it's at. Totally. Please wait. I think it's just gonna put us right back in, yeah. Oh, man, look at that ship again, though. Would it be wrong to steal it? Would it be wrong to just blatantly take their artwork and put it in my own game? Obviously it would. I'm not gonna do that, but it's like, damn, so good. Guys, what do you think of this game? DoDonPachi. Is it a game you played back in the day? Is it a game you loved? Did it look amazing? Maybe you can explain. I mean, the bullet mechanics are like, you seem to be immune to some colors and not others. I'm not sure if you can switch. There's a button I'm missing, but maybe you can let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, if you did play this and you did love it, share the love in the comments. Tell us what made it amazing. Share your memories. It'd be awesome to hear from you. But yeah, what are the genres of games that you really enjoy, that really speak to you? What are some genres that maybe you're not crazy about, but there's like a couple like standout titles to you that you just enjoy or love? Anyway, let me know. Let me know. Half of this channel is playing these old games and half is just reminiscing about nostalgic moments from our youth and talking about them. So if nothing else, I hope today's video got you thinking, got you a little nostalgic. If it did, like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. And other than that, I will catch you in the next one. So until next time, my friends, you all take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon. Peace!